In today's video, we're going to be talking about two people who claim they have either played or worked on Grand Theft Auto 6. One of them seems very believable, the other one not so much. We're going to be diving into both of these instances in this video today. Now, the first one I'm covering because so many of you guys have asked me to talk about this, and this comes from one of the biggest streamers in the world. He streams on Twitch. His name is XQC. Some of you guys probably end up watching him. Super successful, has huge numbers, one of the biggest streamers in the whole world. He said recently that he played GTA 6. When I first saw it, I was like, all right, this dude is clearly being sarcastic. But apparently there's still a good number of people in the GTA universe that think this is real and that he has gotten a early and exclusive hands-on experience with GTA 6. Take a look at this right here.
I don't give a guys. Fuck the NDAs, guys. Fuck the papers, guys. Guys, if they want, they can put them in a jail. I was playing all of them. I'm just gonna say, guys, I was playing Grand Theft Auto 6 online, and I'm gonna say how it is. The game's already finished developing. They finished it. Okay, the reason why the thing is so long is that they are not gonna let roleplay be on 5M. They have their own roleplay servers with advanced real-life roleplay mechanics. It is the most advanced roleplay system of all time. Of all time. All of them. It is, guys, it is nuts. It is nuts. Dude, you can rob banks. You can pretend to be a police, right? And they even let you shoot civilians in the game without saying anything. Anything at all. Just RDM. Straight up. They said, we want the true roleplay, lifelike fidelity, is what they said. So you don't even have to talk before shooting. It is the most advanced, cutting-edge roleplay I've seen in the longest time playing games. It's pretty nuts.
So he talks about the most advanced role-playing system of all time. You can be police officers, you can rob banks. Sort of sounds like cops and criminals, good guys, bad guys. And I will admit, the role-playing scene in GTA 5's current multiplayer, Grand Theft Auto Online, is huge. And it's a reason that the game has remained so popular and so successful is because of the RP, that true role-playing system. But I think it's very clear here that he is just simply making this up. It's also very hard to believe that he would be so transparent about breaking a Grand Theft Auto 6 NDA or non-disclosure agreement that would have been given to him by Rockstar or by Take-Two Interactive. Because if he did sign an NDA, not only could Rockstar sue him for breaking it, which would potentially cost him millions of dollars, but he could also be risked being blacklisted by them and other people in the gaming industry for being untrustworthy. It's just not a great sight. I mean, it was really only a month and a half ago that Rockstar confirmed the game was in full development, and I'd be hard-pressed to believe that they gave access to a streamer or really anyone in the industry to sort of play the game, let alone its multiplayer role-playing aspect of it. So you guys wanted me to cover this. I got lots of requests. I think he's clearly just being sarcastic here. Now, one person who doesn't look like they're being sarcastic, and I actually found this to be kind of interesting. This actually comes from a podcast that I actually listen to on Spotify. It's the No Breaking podcast. And this podcast featured Sean Smith. And for those of you guys who don't know, Sean specializes in the bespoke automotive industry and founded Sean Smith Designs over 20 years ago. He's designed cars for celebrities like Kevin Hart and Robert Downey Jr. and several brands. And Sean comes from a family of creatives and began exploring art at an early age. And he has since worked with companies like Celine Automotive and Rockstar Games. And on that podcast, he actually talks about working with Rockstar Games and kind of teases he's working potentially on the next GTA game. You can see him kind of stumble just a little bit. Take a listen to this, and you guys can let me know if you think that's what he was talking about.
You've done some work in video games, is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I having my business, I did a booth at the Grand National Roadster Show, and I was approached by Rockstar Games which, if you don't know, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, video game manufacturer in the world. They make Grand Theft Auto. And they came to me and they're like, yeah, we love your work. We need a concept artist or car designer to design all the cars in our video games. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, we have your card. We're going to call you. We're going to hire you. We'll call you in like 4 months. That's when we'll be ready to hire you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, right? They called me 4 months later and they were like, this is Rockstar Games. When can you come in and start? And I'm like, okay, you know. So I went down there and sure enough, they had contracts ready and they had everything. They were like ready to move my stuff and locate me. They were in San Diego. So, and that's what prompted that. So the first game I worked on was Midnight Club series. So they hired me to do renderings and designs of all the aftermarket parts and cars and graphics in Midnight Club. And it was really fun. I think I worked there for 3.5, just under 4 years. Yeah, I could design a car, have somebody model it up. I think I had a team of like 12 modelers that worked with me. And so I would give them all, distribute sketches through them. And then within a week, they'd have all the designs that come back. And then I would rig it up onto the Xbox and then the gaming engine and be able to evaluate the car in the game. And, you know, same thing with the car. I'd evaluate the highlights, what it looks like in the game. What does it look like with proportions? It's really exciting. You know.
And did you work on any other games apart from the Midnight Club series then?
I worked on a few other ones. I did work on the current for a little while, Grand Theft Auto, and then another game. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the title on it, but it didn't go anywhere anyways. It may, but I just got contacted by them recently about it.
So you saw there he got to work on Midnight Club, got to work on the current Grand Theft Auto game, and you thought he was about to stumble into the next one. And I think he kind of had to backtrack and was like, I don't know if they're going to do that one, or I don't know if that game's going to exist. Because clearly, if he's worked with Rockstar successfully in the past and on multiple games, just like we talked about in the first story today, he'd be very familiar with a non-disclosure agreement or an NDA. And there's no way that someone as successful and well-known like that is going to break a non-disclosure agreement. But he has designed some really cool cars. It kind of makes you wonder which ones he's directly responsible for in GTA 5 or Grand Theft Auto Online. And it also makes you wonder what one of his cars he would have been responsible for designing in Grand Theft Auto 6. Just imagine the sort of supercars that he could end up making. I think that would be very, very cool. But anyways, I know today's video was about people talking about GTA 6 either directly or indirectly, telling the truth or not telling the truth. But I wanted to get those two stories out there because a lot of you guys had been asking me to cover this sort of stuff. So you can definitely let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.